Guys, what's up? It's John, and pretty big news in the beat 'em up gaming world, and there hasn't been much news lately, to be honest, in the beat 'em up genre, because it's been kind of dead. Let's face it, it's been dead for a while. But Streets of Rage 4 was recently announced, and I saw the trailer. I want to share with you my thoughts. I'm really curious what you guys' thoughts on Streets of Rage 4 is as well, if you've seen it. I'll put a link below to the trailer in case you guys haven't seen it. It looks interesting, and it's developed by, I believe it's Lizard Cube is the company, and published by Dotemu is the company. I think that's how you pronounce it. The same group of guys who did Wonder Boy, The Dragon's Trap. I believe that came out last year, fairly recently. And that game got really good reviews and kind of breathed new life into that franchise. The last Streets of Rage 3, came out in 1994. So it's been 24 years since we've seen the last Streets of Rage. It's a great beat 'em up series. There's 3 of them, obviously, prior to this one. They all came out for the Sega Genesis / Mega Drive. One of my favorite styles of beat 'em up game series. I love the music, love the style. It's like, to me, it's like Final Fight, but I prefer it a little bit better. It was rugged. It's a really great beat 'em up game. Now this preview, the one that they showed the trailer, they didn't announce a launch date, they didn't announce a price. There's a lot of to be determined with this game. It is very cartoony. The aesthetic is very cartoony, very anime, which not is a good thing. It's not a bad thing to me. It just doesn't look, it definitely looks more modern, let's put it that way. And the gameplay, obviously, is more of a 2D side-scroller beat 'em up, which is great. So I'm intrigued by this. We'll wait to see how much it is. We'll wait to see when it comes out. I trust the teams involved with this particular project. I'm excited about it. And I started thinking about beat 'em ups in general and how that genre was huge in the 90s. We had Konami making games like the X-Men and Turtles and Simpsons, and then you had Capcom making Final Fight and Knights of the Round and a whole bunch of other great beat 'em up games. And it's sad to me that franchise, or I'm sorry, not that franchise, but that genre has kind of gone to the wayside, so to speak. There's been games here and there, like with Scott Pilgrim, for example, which is a great beat 'em up that I highly recommend to check out. But there really haven't been many games, and even the franchises like Golden Axe, which I believe the last one came out, the Beast Rider, and it came out in 2008 by Sega. That was more of a 3D beat 'em up, right? And I believe the last Final Fight came out Streetwise. I think that came out in 2004. And again, that wasn't a 2D side-scrolling beat 'em up. So they've tried to kind of go into making it 3D. I think that was kind of the downfall with the beat 'em up genre. I think a lot of people appreciate the simplicity of classic beat 'em up. And to me, I'm excited that hopefully Streets of Rage 4 will do that. I started thinking about also some games, some franchises, beat 'em up franchises that I'd love to see come back. And I wanted to ask you guys, please leave a comment below. I'm really curious what you guys' thoughts are. What are some beat 'em ups that you guys would like to see come back? For me personally, I mentioned Final Fight. I'd love to see a new Final Fight, but a classic style Final Fight, a 2D Final Fight. Final Fight is a great Capcom beat 'em up. It kind of put beat 'em ups on the map, even though there were beat 'em ups that came out before that. First Final Fight, it really was a very popular, huge in the arcades, came out for the Super Nintendo, and the best Final Fight port for the home computer, on the side note, personally for me, is the Sega CD version. If you have a Sega CD, check out Final Fight CD. It's a great port. The music is incredible for that port, but I digress. So Final Fight would definitely be one. Golden Axe would be another one, another classic Sega beat 'em up game, taken into like the medieval style, right? So you play as a dwarf or the warrior, the wizard, whatever, and I would love to see another 2D platformer. So hopefully, if Streets of Rage 4 does well, I'd love to see a new Golden Axe, because it's been, 10 years since the last one. Even that one was a lot different than Golden Axe. I think before Beast Rider, I believe Golden Axe 3 was the one before that, and that came out on the Sega Genesis and Mega Drive, and I think that was only on the Sega channel, if I recall, not a physical release for the Sega Genesis. But anyway, those 2 genres would be great. Those 2 franchises would be awesome. And I'm trying to think of another one. I'd love to see Konami, although it's never going to happen, unfortunately, because Konami's not really making games anymore. They're making slot machines. But man, I would love them to license out the rights to do another beat 'em up, whether it's like a new Simpsons game beat 'em up. That's one of my favorite beat 'em ups, is The Simpsons by Konami. I think that came out in 1991 for the arcade. It was only ported to the Commodore 64. It wasn't really ported to any home console. I believe the Xbox 360 saw a release on Xbox Live years back, but that's no longer available. But yeah, that would be great to see new Simpsons. I know the Turtles, I was playing actually the other day with my twin boys. I was playing Turtles in Time for the arcade, and that's a great one, obviously, by Konami, and just great beat 'em up. And Raw Thrills, they actually released a new arcade, a Turtles arcade that's a beat 'em up based on the new Turtles, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles series, cartoon, and my boys were playing that at Game On Expo, which it was there, and they really enjoyed it, and I actually enjoyed it as well. Obviously geared towards a younger audience, but it worked, and it was really cool to see that back. So I feel like the beat 'em up genre is coming back slowly but surely. I felt like when Street Fighter 4 came out, that really breathed new life into the fighting genre, right? That really got it to the next level as far as excitement goes. And I'm hoping that we need a game of beat 'em up, and maybe Streets of Rage 4 is that game. I don't know, it's too early to tell, but maybe it's that game that will breathe new life into the genre, because I do like the beat 'em up genre. I like the simplicity, I like the play online, and now you can do really cool things online. You can play co-op online, you don't have to necessarily be in the same room. There's a lot of cool things you can do with beat 'em ups. The only bad thing about beat 'em ups, I guess the biggest complaint for me, is a replay value. So hopefully if they do have a beat 'em up that's come out, and hopefully this is the case with Street Fighter 4, I hope there's like a choose your own path, right? So you can go different areas, and when you replay it, you can go different path as well. Hopefully they do that. Anyway, curious what you guys' thoughts are. Thank you so much for watching this video. Thank you for liking it. Thank you for subscribing. That means the world. Please leave a comment below. What are some beat 'em ups franchises that you'd like to see come back? What are your thoughts about Streets of Rage 4? Thank you so much for watching. We'll see you soon, and of course, game on.